Grandpa, you
How's
hear
your
me?
What you say?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good. I
Okay.
hear you
All
good
right.
now.
All right. Cool.
Mhm.
We're in live. This is episode 125. We got the good brother Chase on here finally after 2 years of schedule conflicts.
no, it's just been work, and then my wife and I just had a baby, little boy. It's just been kind of
Oh,
hectic. That's all.
congratulations, there.
Thank you,
Congratulations,
sir.
man.
Thank you, brother.
As my uncle Pooh would say, you add another pisser and shitter to the house. So
Basically, he's definitely on that. Trust me.
let's beer in while you're telling us about being a new dad and stuff. You got something libation on you?
Well, honestly, I'm learning that I will never take advantage of sleep again.
Hmm.
Like, honestly, the new fatherhood, it's amazing because it's something that I've always wanted. Because Sean, you're one of the few people that I shared me and my wife's first pregnancy with, which unfortunately ended in a miscarriage. And this is something that me and my wife did pray for, and I'm just taking it one step at a time. Like, I've taken nothing but videos and pictures because I know he's never going to be this size again. And I'm just taking it all one step at a time, especially with what's going on in this world today.
I dig that, man. Well, Grandpa, why don't you tell us what you got to drink today, man?
Well, I went and got some traditional.
Oh, you got the
Always
traditional.
good though. It's well known.
What'd you get
But
today?
why?
Oh, of course. Why
Yeah,
you
see,
got red
man.
can Budweiser? Where'd you get the red can Budweiser like that? This Christmas can? All right. Well, sometimes Grandpa doesn't really feel like looking at the
Well,
liquor
I haven't been out, searching for that beer. Last time I bought, I thought was beer, wasn't beer.
store. He went to the liquor store. I think this is the second time he did this. He got some
I had
what
some
is
White
that?
Claw.
White Claw. He was like, this must be beer.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. I'm sorry, man.
yeah, I
White
learned
Claw
my
ain't.
lesson on that. But they
So,
done changed now. They got the beer thing all stacked up with everything but beer. Got all lemonade and strawberry, all kind of different flavors.
Oh
But
yes,
the
man.
traditional beer, that's why what was
I mean, you can't go wrong with the Budweiser. What you
yeah.
got over there, Brody?
well, I got something from Bee Nectar, totally strawberry. It's a mead.
Uh-oh, just what I was talking. What you said? What's the name of it?
It's a
Ooh,
mead.
that
It's
look good.
Bee Nectar, totally strawberry.
Oh, oh,
It's like a honey beer, Grandpa.
oh. Okay.
But it is
Where'd
a
you
beer, though, eh?
send me that, bro? Send me that.
A mead is a type of beer.
Huh. Send.
Oh,
I gotta figure. I gotta go to my wine shop or to my beer store now, man.
I
I'm
just saw
feeling
it at
bad.
it was just at the local, well, not the local, it was the liquor store by the pet store that I go to. But
Hmm.
yeah, man, I like meads. Meads are good, Grandpa. I think we had mead before, but you weren't really hip to it because it was the way it tastes.
Really?
Hmm.
No, I'm a fan of meads. Definitely a fan of meads. But I've recently become a hardcore stout guy, and when I tell you that stouts have been the key of life these days, it's the truth.
Stouts
And
put me to sleep, man. I have like if I go to a stout and I have to have a stout sitting up at a bar while I'm talking to people. Because if I'm at
whoa,
home drinking a stout, I'll go to sleep.
man, I got a stout that you gonna like. Like, look here, come over for the bowl game. I got a stout you gonna like, bro.
Me and Grandpa tried stout. I think we did a month of trying different stouts, and Grandpa didn't like none of them.
You ain't
He
like none of them, sir.
I can't even remember what is a stout.
it's like Guinness. Guinness is a stout.
That's Guinness.
I
Yep.
forgot.
Guinness is a
Man,
stout, Grandpa.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
I can live
did
with
you
it. I said
did
I
you
didn't
skip?
like none of it.
you said it was you said it didn't taste like beer to you. Grandpa's favorite beers are like St. Pauli's Girl, Stroh's, stuff,
I
stuff like
ain't
that.
seen no Skinny Poly girl in a minute.
I
I ain't
remember
seen no Skinny
we
Poly
went
girl.
downtown and Grandpa was like, "Look, it's St. Pauli's Girl." That's Grandpa's go-to.
Oh yeah,
Man,
yeah. I
y'all
like
like
that German beer. One day I'm gonna treat myself and go to that to go to Munich. Where they have the Oktoberfest.
yeah, yes, you should.
That's
It's awesome.
And I'm gonna load up
You
on some
went there?
St. Paul.
I've been there. I went there a couple. Me, Chris, Brandon, a couple of the boys went there a couple of years ago. I had called, but you didn't pick up.
Oh wow, Grandpa. So Chase went to Oktoberfest in Munich.
Oh yeah.
It was
I
one.
shouldn't ask how it was because I know it was good, wasn't it?
Oh my God, Lord Jesus, yes. It was one in Royal Oak, and it was one downtown, and there was a third one that was a ways out by it was close to Sterling Heights, I want to say, but I wasn't going that far. And again, we had just got married, so I was trying to spend as much time with the wife as I could. But no, Oktoberfest, it had all the beers you could imagine. It was.
Chase, I think he's talking about going to Germany. Their Oktoberfest. That's what he thinks you're talking about.
Oh no, I ain't been to Germany, not yet. That's on my
Well,
bucket.
I'm glad he mentioned that. I didn't even know we had Oktoberfest here in Michigan.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, there's tons of them out here.
Well, the next time they have, if I'm still around, I'm gonna go there.
You still around? You gonna be here?
What you talking? You gonna be here?
You gonna be still around?
Look, we gonna be there. We gonna be turned.
I'm on a day by day.
I'm claiming it now. You're gonna be here, and all three of us gonna be in there having us good.
Well, I already know Grandpa's gonna probably give Budweiser what, a 5?
Look, I'm bringing
but I got a gift giver of a 5.5.
See,
that's
man,
the start. Then I can get back to traditional 6 where it belongs.
Okay. Well, this strawberry meat is pretty good. I'll give it an 8. I like meads. Meads are pretty good.
Meads, I got a new. No, Sean, it was a mead that you and I had that you brought with you. I believe it was when we were in my old apartment when we were watching one of those MSU games, and whatever that was you brought, I have to tell you, amazing, because you and a couple of my friends are like the beer experts and whatnot. I just started really branching out in the last like couple of years. You guys have been on it. And because I usually stick with liquor, like bourbon's my thing, bourbon and scotch and whiskey. I loaded up on those over this pandemic for reals. Because actually, there's a scotch you gentlemen should try. It's called Angel's Envy.
Oh yeah, we've had that on the show.
Yes, I love that.
I remember when I was in North Carolina with Ashley, we were going to one of her friends' weddings with her sister was with us too. And I just happened to be at the liquor store, like, let's pick up some liquor. And I was like, okay. I had never seen Angel's Envy before, but I saw the bottle. I thought it looked nice. So I remember I went and got it. And she was like, hey, this is my dad's favorite. So I was like, well, shoot, let me go back in there. I hopped out, just jumped out the cab, ran back, got a couple more bottles, man. That stuff is pretty good. But like, I feel like now that everyone's knowing about it, the price is jacking up. Kind of like what happened with some other alcohols we know about.
Yeah, buddy. The minute a rapper says it on a song, it skyrockets. Suddenly everybody only drinks Anejo and Terramana, name a few things.
Yeah.
It's oh my God. And just like when everyone just had to have Ciroc and all the seasonal flavors and what have you. And Ciroc's okay, but it's not my.
What was that blue bottle? It's like a blue and white bottle, like a long, like a tequila. It's like it's a blue bottle with like white clouds on it.
Not Hypnotic, not Grey Goose. That's vodka.
It's a bottle. I can't remember what it was, but I remember for a minute, everyone was like posting pictures of them with that bottle, and I'm like, if someone posted a meme where, why don't y'all post the black bottle version of that? Because that's the expensive one.
Yes. Wait. Do you remember when everybody was all on Patron and what have you?
Oh yeah. Patron is garbage. Joe Garbaggio, as it were.
Patron don't taste good going down, got a bad aftertaste. You have people who were 1800, all they want was 1800. I'm just like, dude, I can get you some fine. You just got to have some tequila. I got a couple at my place, man.
I mean, you can just siphon out some gas out your car if you want to just drink terrible. But
seriously, like, now the best tequila, one of the better tequilas I've had recently, and I'm not saying this because I'm a huge fan of the guy, is Terramana. I'm waiting on the Anejo Terramana. Was supposed to be coming out end of this year, closer to January and what have you. At least that's what the Rock's Instagram said. Because
tell us, man. Okay, let me ask you then, since we got you here now.
What's up?
We gotta do intros. You gotta give people because we just started talking. Like, so this is my good brother Jace. Give us a little intro about yourself, man. Like, what you do, what your pastimes, and you're a new dad. Give us a little blurb about yourself.
Oh, well, for those, my name is Chase Walker. I am a current social worker. My fun times include drinking, following my beloved Michigan State Spartans, go green, go white.
What?
Um, gaming. If you're on the PlayStation 5, you can see this. Add me, certified Chase, and pretty much just chopping it up and being my awesome new son Cameron's dad. Just I'm trying to put that little guy on the path to being twice as good as I could ever hope to be.
Yeah,
That's
so tell us how's that been going, man. So like he's what, a month old now, 2 months old?
3 weeks. He's 3 weeks. My little buddy is 3 weeks old today. And honestly, it's been a bit of a culture change for me and my wife because while we definitely have been making time to just, kick it with each other and catch up on shows and do little things like just have dinner together. One thing that we have had to do is make more time for the little guy. And it's not really stressful. It was like a shock to us at first, but working together, we've more so been able to kind of work with each other and make sure that not only does the other one get like a break or a reprieve, but that we both are able to spend adequate time with the little guy.
Hey, Grandpa, what do you remember about when you had your first kid? Was it a culture shock like Chase is talking about? How was it for you?
I'm trying to. I'm going. I gotta go back so far. I can't even remember.
That's funny, man. But it's wild, man. Like, so I guess I don't ask anything too in depth. Like, did you guys did she get to have a natural birth, or was it was it emergency
Natural.
breech?
It was
That's
a
good,
natural
man.
birth. And the thing is, we wanted to do this at Beaumont and Royal Oak, but a couple of my wife's friends
They
and
don't do that
coworkers,
there.
yeah, and they said the few experience they had there were so, and plus my wife's OBGYN operated out of Ascension Providence, which lucky for us is not even 10 minutes away. And I've got to give them credit. They exceeded every expectation I had. They were more so, it wasn't just primarily about getting the baby here. We'll worry about the mom later. They went above and beyond to make sure that my wife was more than comfortable. And honestly, 10 out of 10, must try again.
Well, that's good to hear, man. Because this hearing about it and then living through it are two different things. Like, we didn't even do anything, but like watching them having to hear about having to worry about your wife. I remember Ashley was giving birth and they had to give her a little medicine because she was just planning to do all natural, all everything. They had to give her a little medicine because like he was being born breech, like he wouldn't turn his head, so like they had to they had to do some things to get him out. But like I remember sitting there and every movie I didn't seen about hospitals is like you don't want to go to sleep. So she's just kind of getting a little drowsy. I'm just slapping her in the face. I'm like, stay awake. She's like, I'm not dying. I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, we just making sure.
Because in October, I think you and I talked about it when I told you the baby was breached and then he just kept moving and what have you. Because question, Sean, did your son, was he early, right on time? Was he late?
He was honestly, he could have stayed a little bit longer, but he was early because of that was the date that we had with the doctor.
Oh.
Like, no, he could have been born probably another week later, right? And I remember this because I remember we had just beat Duke the night before, and I was just like, oh shoot. And I'm just like, man, why don't you stay another week, buddy? We'll see how long you can ride. I was just like, man, I'm telling you, I was in full fan mode. I was like, man, if he could stay just one more week in there, maybe he's the reason why all this is happening, why we wouldn't. But he came the next day, and then it was it was still great. I just remember that I just remember at the time I was anxious because Not that I thought the procedure or anything would go bad, but because it was April Fool's Day, and I was just like, dang, my son's gonna be born April Fool's Day. But that's just I mean, no one really cares about that anymore. It's just a day. But I just remember at that time, like when you're about to have your, I guess you know this, like when you're about to have your kid, especially your first one, like all sorts of wild thoughts rush through your head, and you're just trying to make sure, you're in like a not overprotective mode, you're in protective mode. You want everything to go well, like, and in reality, your plans about having your kid, your birthing plan is not ever going to be 100% going to go the way you think it's going to go. So you got to be flexible. But I just remember I was just like, man, this is wild. And then like it wasn't even take too long for him to be born. He was just here. It was like he was in there and he was out.
Like, because we were in labor 17 hours, and then when it came time, then 2 pushes, I'm just like, whoa, because I didn't know that they kicked the husband out when she has to get the epidural. I didn't know that. Yeah, because apparently they say a lot of guys faint when they see that long needle go in the wife, and they would rather not. I'm like, I was joking with them because I'm like, oh, you're kicking me out because I'm black, huh? And they're like, no, no, no. I'm like, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
You
And
took your
my
life.
wife,
Where were you again? You were Royal Oak when you said that?
we were in Southfield.
Oh, I was like, oh yeah, you can say that in Southfield. You can get
Yeah,
away with that.
because my wife brought something to my attention when we were initially looking for her OBGYN. I didn't realize how many black women were dying during childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she specifically wanted a black OBGYN, which I'm all absolutely, yes.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes. And Dr. Kimberly Moore is her name. She's amazing. When I tell you she made this entire process seem like a breeze. Like my son came so he literally came the day that me and my wife went for her 37-week appointment, and she was 37 weeks and she measured at 40. And literally after the appointment, we both went to work and she said, babe, I think he's coming today. Wait a couple hours. She's like, he's coming. So we already had our overnight bags packed and everything. I had my switch with me. We went to the hospital.
That is funny because we were on the same page with that. I remember like maybe the day before, 2 days before, I was packing mine, and I was just like, yeah, let me pack my switch. And she was just like, what? I was like, for all the downtime I'm gonna have. She was like, what?
That's what she said. That's what she said too. She was like, oh my God, I hope you're having fun. And I'm like, I'm just trying to be supportive, honey. And she says I did a good job and whatnot, but she's the real trooper because 2 pushes. And then when the little guy came out, I won't lie, it was just like oh my God. And then when I held him, I'm like,
it gets real when that happens.
Yes, it's like, I'm like, oh my God, I tell my wife every day we did a good job.
Grandpa's looking around.
You did say that a lot of women are dying from childbirth now.
A lot of black women. I didn't
realize.
Black
women, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's something new. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been like that forever. It's been like that forever.
They don't take care of our sisters when they're giving birth. Then a lot of sisters. I didn't realize the precise number escapes me, sir. But I do recall that it was a pretty big number, and I'm like, nope, I need my baby here because I can say I married the right person. That's my baby. It's my wife's my heart.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I've ever heard of it, especially when I was coming up with black women dying of childbirth. I don't know. Maybe they were because of the communications, and maybe I wouldn't get any information. But I haven't ever heard of black women dying from childbirth.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I don't know anybody that died from childbirth.
Oh my! Like I was just as surprised as you.
That's fortunate to hear, but like Chase is telling the truth. Like, man, I wish if I had known this was going to come up, I would have asked Ashley because she she's a lactation consultant, so she did all the studying for this. She could tell me, but man, it's actually pretty high, and that's like they've been talking about it on the news for the past couple of years now, like how they've been trying to reform like healthcare and everything because of this, like how slanted it is.
Because
Mm.
I believe was it okay? It was one of those networks not too long ago. They had a special on it that my wife was watching, and my mother had reached out to me because she knew at the time we were trying, and she told me to sit down and watch it with her. I I caught it briefly, but I had a long day at work, so I was half asleep. But I did catch it, and it says that Black women are the most likely to die of all the races during childbirth. And I sat up like the Undertaker. I'm like, huh? And my wife was like, "That's why I want a Black OBGYN." I said, "Hey, no problem, baby."
I mean, a lot of that has to do with like old racial stereotypes, thinking like black people somehow feel less pain or are more durable than most other people, and
A
that.
coworker, because a coworker of mine was that she was telling me how they wouldn't listen to her, and she was denied a we were just talking about it.
Epidural.
Epidural. Yes, she was denied. They didn't believe her, and then when they finally checked, it was too late for her to get it. And she was like, she told me that's the most painful childbirth she's had, and mine. And she has 3 children. It was for her first, so I was like, oh, because I'll
Yeah,
never
that's
forget it.
that's that's terrible to hear, man. Like that's
Oh
very
yeah. Oh yes, and like honestly, I gotta give you credit, Sean. You were definitely checking in on a brother while me and the wife were pregnant. I appreciate that, and I never forgot that either.
no, no problem, man. I know how it is, man, because you're sitting there and you just kind of you're doing your best to try to support your wife, but like throughout the time, it's like sometimes people can forget that like as a dad that you just someone just checking on you too can help just push you
Yeah,
through those last little bits, man.
because I never left her side, and I was making sure. Like I know I joke with her a lot. That's part of marriage. I live to annoy that woman, but for something serious like this, I definitely kept her spirits right, and I basically was trying to keep her head in the right place. Let her know that whatever it is she needed, I got her. And even still now, like when my wife was pregnant. She would get mad because I didn't really want her doing much. And she was like, but stuff needs to get
Same.
done, babe. And I'm like, I'll do it. And at times I can it be just a smidgen lazy at times, but I'm like, look, it'll get done. You just worry about keeping that little youngin of ours safe. And even now, I still don't let her lift anything, do any like real manual labor. She'll take something up the stairs. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me take it. And she'll be like, babe, I'm fine. We have the baby now. You don't have. I'm like, honey, I got to. Maybe it's a me thing.
That's how I was too, man. Like I used to call her my queen aunt because her initials are A&T. And like when
That's
she was pregnant, I'd be like just bringing her food and stuff. I'm like, baby, I don't want you to move. I don't want you to do nothing. She was like, I gotta move. Like that's part of the whole process. And but it was to me like my biggest thing was like talking about going up and down stairs because I'm like all it takes is one bad trip. So
Yep, that
I
was
was
me.
I was overreacting there because I was like, let's just build one of those little church slide stair things on the wall.
Man, I would if my wife wasn't upstairs resting, I'd tell her to come here so just so she could see it's not just me. Like, wait, Sean, if you don't mind me asking, what food did Ashley eat a lot of when she was pregnant?
I remember it wasn't anything too weird, but I do remember it was a time like several times a week she'd want me to go out and get her a spicy chicken Wendy's sandwich with onions on it, McDonald's fries, Rally's what is it? Either high C fruit punch or Kool-Aid fruit punch slushies, but it had to be in that order because she's like the fries are going to only stay crispy at a certain time, and the fruit punch got to be just cold before a slushie. She's like, for some reason, she could just tell. But man, I remember several times a week I'd be going out middle of the night get her these Wendy's, man. But that was about it. I mean, she did a pretty good job. Everything else duty normal, but that was the thing when she was craving it, she wanted it in that order. What
Oh
about you?
wow. She loved those 7-Eleven slushies. Ironically, Wendy's as well. She kind of liked the regular chicken sandwich. Wife's not a big fan of spicy food, but when it comes to the 7-Eleven slushies, yeah, she's like, I want a Coke slushie from 7-Eleven. I'm like, okay. She's like, or she'll call me and she like, babe, would you hate me if I asked you to go? I said, no, I wouldn't hate you. No, I don't mind doing it. It's no problem. And then since where we're at, it's a Wendy's right down the street. I'm like, so should I hit Wendy's? She's like, I'd like a chicken sandwich, not a spicy one. I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, man. Hey, grandma, did grandma have anything that she wanted you to do when she was pregnant? Like any wild food or anything?
If it was, I can't remember. All I know, I was just listening though, and I was thinking about times and how times change. Now, when I was born a midwife. That was big at the time. Also, uh, I guess people, I guess I know they didn't have the money to, go to the hospital. So midwives was, frequent, because in fact, I know the midwife that brought me into this world was a woman named Viola Obka. I think that's on my birth certificate, But then at this particular time, if you had a black doctor, you were born in a black hospital. See, because black doctors couldn't practice in Providence or Beaumont or Harper. And they practiced. We had a little hospital like I was born in a place called Kerwood. It was a hospital, but it was like a house hospital. Kerwood, and it was Ziegler's. But anyway, if you had a black doctor, you were born in a black hospital because they didn't let black doctors practice. So anytime somebody would say if they had a white doctor, that meant that they were born in a hospital. I mean, not a regular big hospital, not just a small one. So we were kind of contained, as far as where you were born at, So I guess the midwives did pretty well, cause a lot of us.
I mean, that goes to show just how important. That goes to show how important it is having somebody who looks like you giving you care, because I mean, medical technology has gotten so much better from when Grandpa was born. But to hear him say he didn't know anybody who died from like a hospital, and it was because they didn't go. They had their own little small clinics and they handled business.
Yeah, well, they at the house. They're born in the house. Midwives would come to the house. But my midwife was not she was not a black woman. She was I think she might have been Polish. Opka, Opka.
That's interesting.
So I think that was I think she was Polish. But anyway, that was basically what people were born at that particular time in hospital, not in hospital, but in home, born in a house. So I guess if anything, if there was some big complication, you was in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's wow, that's interesting. So, but Grandpa was born. He was born in Hamtramck, right?
Yeah, right, or in Hamtramck. Yeah,
so that explains
and the house,
Polish connection.
In fact,
yes.
If I recall, I don't think any of my sisters and brothers was ever born in a hospital. Most of them, they're all in the house. Even my youngest brother was born in a house.
Now, when was it that black people could go to, as you said, the bigger hospitals?
Oh, it was a long time, but in the 50s, no, you had to have a white doctor if you went to a white hospital. Yeah, you see, like you never heard of Trinity or Ziegler's or Kerwood or Parkside. All of those were black hospitals. See,
I've heard that name by my mother.
You have heard of Parkside?
I've heard my mother mention that name a few times.
Oh, okay. But they got faded out. I think probably maybe in the late 60s, probably. Mm-hmm. When those hospitals got faded out, where a black doctor could practice in a major hospital.
I wonder if Trinity Hospital is the same as Trinity Healthcare is now.
I think it is.
That's interesting. I have to look that up later. But no, man, that's good, man. Good. So like, what was how much did your son weigh when he came out?
6 pounds 8 ounces.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know that after they come out, they lose weight. Because
when we took they lose like a 20% of their body at times. Like, cause like I remember our first time our son came out, he had like the biggest liquidiest kind of soupy looking poop I ever seen.
It was
And
black. What?
yes,
Oh,
yeah. I
oh,
didn't know what that was at first, man. But then she was just like, "Yeah, man, that's normal. That's just like the afterbirth stuff and everything coming out."
mm,
And I was just like,
mm,
"Man, that's wild. That's something I didn't know."
mm.
That was the one thing I wasn't prepared for. Like, and it wasn't bad. Like I remember when they had to do a little surgery on my wife when he was being born. They took like her organs out, and I was like, "Man, I wish I could touch those." Because like, what's the chance you're gonna touch somebody's organs again? I was fine with that, but when he pooped out that black stuff, I was just like, "Man, I thought he was broken." like,
Oh no, I can't. Like that's how much did little man weigh? If you don't mind me asking.
when he came out, he weighed about, dang, I think he was close to 9 pounds.
They told now they were telling us that our baby could be big, and I was thinking because there's been big babies in my family because my mother was a 9 pound baby, my dad was an 11 pound baby, my brother was an 8 pounder, and me and my sister were 7 pounders, and my wife was 6 pounds on the nose, I believe. I'm not sure. And when little man came out 6'8", and we took him to the doctor, he was 6 pounds 3 ounces. And then when we took him back last week, he was basically 7 pounds. And we weighed him, I believe, on Monday, and he was 7 pounds, like 12 ounces. Because let me tell you, kid got appetite.
That's good. That's good that he's eating. So, like, are you guys doing the? Is she breastfeeding? Or are you guys using the formula?
Breastfeeding,
Okay,
breastfeeding,
that's good.
because apparently that had it strengthens the bond, and he gets all the antibodies and some vitamins and
Yeah,
all that good
yeah,
stuff.
that's the best way to do it, man. Like this formula
Oh,
stuff is not the way. I mean, I guess if you can't breastfeed, if it's like I just from the little stuff I actually read because I was like asking guys their study materials out. She's like, you should probably learn some of this stuff, dude. Like breastfeeding versus like formula stuff is like night and day, dude. From like
I keep
all
hearing
the
that.
vitamins and minerals and all this like antibiotics and stuff. I was like, man, this is a superfood. like
That's what I keep
Dave
hearing.
Chappelle wasn't lying about that Cambodian breast.
Wait, Sean, every time we talk about breast milk, I'm always think of Homecoming when Ashley was feeding little guy and this random gentleman was going to where she was at, and I didn't know you could move that fast. Like you were like, hey, what the what? A couple
Well,
words I
I
can't
just, I
say.
just saw it in the corner of my eye. I didn't know what was going on. I was
He
just like,
was like, hey, you were like, hey, what you do? I'm like, that's not the Sean I know, but I'm like, I get it.
it
Like
was
Sean, I knew you had quick hands, but I'm like, you did like I think Sean, the way you spun around and moved that quickly, you could have walked on at our football team.
I think I just that was that day I did that spicy Dorito challenge, whatever, and I was down bad for a little bit.
Yeah, you were down bad, Brody. You were down bad with that one.
It's actually funny because I got that chip from Flozell, and Grandpa met Flozell a couple weeks ago when we went to the Michigan game. And
Nice.
he still brings it up every time I see him in that parking lot. He's like, "Hey, how you feeling?"
Listen, that hot chip challenge is no joke.
It's not.
I did it. I partook in it, and my wife was telling me, I'm not helping you because if I help you, you're not gonna learn anything. And I
That
must
sounds
say,
about right.
yes, for about 3 hours, I'm just like, oh my god, my tongue, and my stomach.
It
Also,
was the
I heard
stomach for me. Like I couldn't feel my taste buds in my tongue. It was my stomach though. Like I was making all types of promises and collect calls to God. I was like, Lord,
yes,
whatever you need me to do.
please, I won't do this again. I promise. Look,
When,
I told
when would y'all explain what y'all did? Because I'm lost.
So there's a there was like a Dorito challenge, right, where they send you one chip, but it's like the spiciest chip in the world. And
yes,
you just eat it and like see if you can handle it, right? So I did it a couple of years ago at a Michigan State game with Ashley. It was during homecoming, but this was before the pandemic. This might have been 2 or 3 years. This might have been 3 years ago. Oh, hey, Thimpy.
baby. Sean says hi.
And I had the chip, and like for the first like minute and a half, I was like, this is nothing, right? I'm thinking it's just a joke. But like the moment I took like a couple steps away and it really had a chance to get in my stomach, I was crippled. Like I couldn't move. like it arrested me. Like it arrested me, man. Like it felt like the world. It felt like the way the world was on my shoulders, Grandpa. I couldn't move. The pain was so severe. It was like you ever have something so hot, Grandpa, where you just didn't want to move at all? Like you were just you started to sweat for no reason.
No, I've never experienced that. Oh, you said a chip?
Yeah,
Yes,
chip.
it's one chip. Like it's literally gonna probably be the hottest thing you'll ever have. And when I had my, it's like I just started sweating and everything I had eaten for the last week just went right to my stomach. I'm like, bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. I didn't know I could move it.
I was drinking milk. I was finding anything that was liquid and cold. I was like, "This let me make it."
I think Ashley held you down that day
She
because I
did,
was
man.
looking like, who's
She
though?
just
She
threw
was
me under
like,
the bus. She was messing with me. She was messing with me though. Oh, here's the little guy.
here's my little prince. My little
Hey,
hey, buddy, say hi, Uncle Sean.
hey, Grandpa, to pull the magnifying glass.
Yeah,
Up.
things get kind of blurry, and I have to get my glass there to kind of clear it up there. Yeah.
He's like, I'm just trying. He's like, I'm trying to find a soft spot to lay, Dad.
Oh, I got you, man. Hold on, I got my little cousin.
How old is he now? 3 weeks old?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yep, he's 3 weeks to the day.
Man,
like,
he's looking like he's got some long arms, dude.
Huh?
He's got some long arms, dude.
Yeah, he does. He was 19 and a half. They measured him at, right, baby? 19. Now they say he might be tall. We'll see. We'll see. Her dad, both of our dads are tall, and her brother's tall.
You got hit by the fast hands, like you know how babies' hands just teleport and reappear.
Oh man, yes, dude. Listen, and this little guy got a grip on him. Let me tell you. Like, look, hold on. I'm gonna show you. Don't be shy, buddy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Little baby strength is legendary, dude. He'll pick up a roll and fling it across the room. You don't even know how he got it.
Yes, like he got my finger right now, and I joke with him. Like normally when he grabs it, I just give up and don't get it. See, I'm trying to pull. Okay, let go.
That little baby tensile strength, man.
Seeing this little guy smile the other day though when he was sleeping, when I was like, "What's up, Cam?" Man, you can't put a price tag on this.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
What's his? What do you think? He's sleeping like 18 hours a day?
At least, but them 5 where he's awake. Let me tell you, he does not play. He does not play, because I will say this: my son has a healthy set of lungs. He has a healthy set, but you know what? I wouldn't trade this for none in the world.
Yeah,
and it's funny. Okay, so this is the funny thing. Like my son has the same middle name as myself and my dad, and all of our birth. My dad March 11th, me July 19th, him November 17th, and all of my friends who are Greek, they let me have it. They lit me up in my text messages. They lit me up and whatnot. And even my dad was like, so all 3 of us are water signs and got the middle name Eugene. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. But this right here, this little guy right here is where it's at.
He seems like pretty chill.
Oh yeah. He when's the last time you fed him, baby? Oh, he just ate. That's why.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah, like even when I'm trying to burp him, I'll be scared that I'm gonna like hit him too hard, and I just tap him and what. More like, babe, you're not gonna hurt him. I'm like, I'm not taking that chance.
Well, yeah, babies will let you know, man. It's like they'll have. I used to, now don't get me wrong. I understand what you mean because you think you're so much bigger than them. They can't handle it, but. Babies are pretty dense and durable.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing the first time they start to roll, like, and you don't realize they're about to roll. Well, that's something. That's a scary moment if you're not prepared for it.
I had 2 heart attacks when I thought he was rolling in his bassinet. I was like, what? No. And I accidentally woke my wife up and she was like, babe, he's laying on his back. That's what babies do. Go back to sleep. And and I was literally like up for like 2 hours just like watching him. Like
Now,
whenever
are y'all on like maternity leave?
Mhm.
Okay,
We
that's
are both on maternity. She's on maternity. I'm on paternity. It's funny because I love my job, and the day that my son was born was the day before my office was gonna do like a baby shower for us.
that's nice.
And my boss was like, so my son was supposed to be born December 4th, and my boss was like, oh God, another Sagittarius. I'm like, hey, Sagittarius are cool. A couple of my best friends are Sagittarius. And then he was like, oh, and then my boss, he is in the fraternity that he was born on, Omega Psi Phi. He was like, oh yeah, you know what you got to do. I'm like, man, come on. Let him be a baby first.
Y'all are funny.
Are you Omega Sci-Fi?
No, sir, they're all in my family though.
Oh, I was gonna say cause who is Omega Sci-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Josh,
Yes, sir. Yes,
a
sir.
Q.
Oh, Grandpa, you spoke him up. Uncle Pooh just texted me, said they just landed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bert Clough. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah. Hey, if he spills stuff, I got him.
Oh,
Now,
man.
see, now that right there, that's my heart right there. That woman's
She's,
she's an MVP right there.
it's wild how moms just like after they have a baby, they just up and about, moving everything like nothing happened.
Man, man, listen. When we were pregnant, my wife and I, we both loved lamb chops, and she hated that she couldn't have any because he didn't like it. She couldn't even have hamburgers because he didn't really like it. That's why I had to get chicken sandwiches a lot.
That was that was one thing though. Lamb chops from it was two strip clubs my wife liked lamb chops from that I had to grin and bear having to go get it for her.
Which ones?
She likes lamb chops from the Pantheon and from this other bar.
Don't
Uh,
say truth.
oh no, I don't go to Truth. Like I'm not paying to walk in from the parking lot, man. Like that makes me mad. How are you like if you park somewhere and you have to park your own car that you then have to pay to get in? Like that's why. What was it? That's another strip club I hate that does that. Okay, don't get me started. This isn't what that's about. I just remember she likes those lamb chops. She likes those lamb chops, and I was just like, man, it's tough, man. I don't know if I can. So,
Oh man, Pantheon, their lamb chops were honestly top tier, and I make some good ones myself. But my wife was like, I don't have an appetite for it. And now, as soon as we had the little guy, I told her the other day, I said, you know what, baby, I'm gonna make some for you because I know you've been wanting them while we were pregnant, but you, for whatever reason, he wasn't agreeing with it. Come here, buddy. What's up, man? What's up, man?
so how you
So
make
you
how you make
how you
lamb
make
chops, dude?
Oh, I seasoned them and I let the seasoning marinate. I rub it. Well, first, obviously, I wash them. Then I season them. I use salt, garlic powder, onion powder, pepper, a little dash of paprika, and then I just like rub it in, marinate it, let it sit for about 20-30 minutes. Then put them in a skillet. I use either veggie oil or avocado oil, a little bit of butter, and then cook them till they got a good sear. And then, as most of our people do, we let the ancestors tell us when it's time to take them off. I do want to do. And then for Christmas every year, I do a prime rib, which my family and my wife's family both love. Now that I had to send you the recipe for that one. That's a
Nope.
top secret, brother.
I dig that. I dig that.
You told me you did a brisket once. How did you go about doing that, bro?
I've done brisket a couple times now, but what I like to do is I don't like to. I don't. I did try the wrap it once method, but then once I got used to like how my temperature goes, I don't wrap it anymore. I just do a little bit of. I get a thin base just so I can get the seasons to stick. I put some yellow mustard, wrap it around it, like just get it really coated so I can get the salt and pepper on there. Give it a good dose of it. Like I'm really generous with the salt and pepper, and that's about it, man. I put it and I let it cook for. Honestly, it's not a time. because I have a probe to see what the temperature is, and like I'm going based off that. So however long that normally takes till I get a good, I forgot what the internal temp. I actually wrote it down somewhere. But what I do to keep it like from drying out is I'll get a big bowl, or I'll get a bunch of like little cupcake pans and fill them with water, and I'll just surround it, or I'll put it directly next to where the heat comes in. So as it evaporates, the moisture collects on the brisket, and it's like it keeps the juices better that way. You don't have to wrap it then.
That sounds good.
Question: because brisket, if you don't cook brisket, or if you don't realize like it could dry out a cut based on like how if you haven't trimmed it a certain way, like that stuff could dry out on one end and be not dry on the other. But like if you really get the like there's people who wrap it to keep the moisture like locked in, but if you do the bowl method, it works just as good. I think it works better.
I heard about that. Have either of you gentlemen tried like using brown sugar and on your brisket as part of the rub?
I haven't. Grandpa, you ever cook brisket? Grandpa,
Yeah, I'm listening.
you ever cook brisket?
Brisket.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe I have.
Well, I know Grandpa used to barbecue a lot. Like you use brown sugar when you cooking barbecue.
Yeah, well, barbecue and to me was ribs and maybe a steak or something, but not a brisket.
No, you ever put brown sugar on?
You're talking about a corned beef brisket, right?
Yeah,
no, just regular brisket.
Huh?
You don't know.
No, regular brisket. Just like taking a regular slab of brisket, seasoning it, and put it on the smoker or the grill.
No, I never. I'm confused.
My father, we used to have an event where my dad would cook like a 70, 80-pound pig on our
Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, when it comes to grilling, like my dad is that guy. It's just that my dad is that guy, and I'll be trying to like emulate while putting my own spin on it and what have you. That's why I'm thinking if I'll cook a brisket as well this Christmas in addition to prime rib.
Man, I'd love to do a pig roast one day. That sounds amazing.
Like, I mean, if you're serious, we could put something together soon. Something. My little principal.
Maybe when it gets a little warmer, because I know having to sit there and watch it takes a.
Yes, it does. And question. Oh, bro, what part of the South is your family from, bro?
The South? This is my great grandfather. We've been in Michigan so long. I don't. Grandpa, what part of this? What part of the South?
Wow, we're from Georgia and Alabama.
Really?
My father was from Georgia down there, place called Meta, maybe 50 miles from Savannah. Georgia.
That's where my mother's family is from, and my father is from Monroeville, Alabama.
Grandma was from what, Talladega?
She was from Talladega, Alabama, right there where the 500 is. That Talladega 500 freeway.
Oh, hold on. We got some interlopers who done tried to join at the end of the show. I see. They out there in Jamaica having a good time.
Hey, Crystal.
How y'all doing?
We're trying to get it together.
That good jerk out there.
This is our other cast members of the show. They went to Jamaica for what is this, for business or for y'all just going to go? Oh, she might not hear us. Oh, that's cool. But yeah,
jerk seasoning now. I'm about to get some of that. Huh? Come here, buddy. You want your patchy? Look at this guy. You want your patchy? That smile.
It's good to see, man. I'm glad to see that you're happy, man. It's being a new dad or just new parent in general. That's a whole new change to, at least for me, how I looked at the world, man. Like, I remember people's. Yeah, I remember you. I shouldn't say people. I remember at times people talk about like it changes like everything about their lives, and to a certain extent it does. But I'm talking like just I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think you get what I'm saying.
What it's like where we were once like I'm living for me. Now it's like I gotta live for me and this guy because marriage changes you, children change you, all of that. But honestly, I straight up said I'm ready for this challenge.
What y'all doing? Y'all came back again? Where y'all? Y'all at the airport eating?
Oh,
Oh, they in the
yeah,
airport?
yeah. I done made a mess.
Got ahead, but
Yo, Chase, this is mine. Uncle, my uncle got his Q gear on. I see.
ah
Yeah,
They in the
yeah.
airport?
yes, sir.
My aunt
You
said, "Oh, what the heck?
hey,
Where y'all going?"
did I tell him my son's birthday?
I done made a mess trying to get on the show.
Oh, tell him your son's birthday, Chase.
My son was born November 17th.
Oh man, I know it's destined, brother. You ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice. You already know that date.
That's what all the Greeks in my family are telling me,
I
man.
can't even. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to send you some little Q gear. A little future Q gear. We gotta claim him early.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, can I get another one of those tuna sandwiches? Yeah, thank you, brother.
Right here.
What we talking about today?
Right, we late.
Well, we're about to wrap up in a second. You know,
I know.
I'm glad you guys came on. This is my friend Chase finally came on. He just had his son through. His wife had their son 3 weeks ago.
Cheers to you, brother.
Thank you. It's 3 weeks to this
3
day. It's my
weeks
little
ago.
celebration.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. We're not gonna talk about Pop's son with his background today.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
got a background? What's going on?
He did something. He messed around. Did something
I've
different.
been remodeling the house and didn't tell nobody.
That was by accident, you know. It said something about back. I clicked it. I clicked on it, and all of a sudden my back. I didn't even know it had changed till Joshua told me.
He said he did it by accident.
It's nice, Pop. Look at that little baby.
Yeah, sit down.
He said it's about to be so long. It doesn't
There you
back up enough. So y'all,
You're gonna stay behind the
Pops,
table.
you would love to be here because we
What you
actually
doing?
drinking red stripe right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
We figured
Hey, Freddie.
since we are in Jamaica.
Chase said he got a family accused.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I do. I do. Like my dad's family, they full of when they found out his birthday, yeah. It was all like, oh yeah, you know what he gotta do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a Delta.
I'm gonna have to show up every 17th.
My favorite cousin on my mom's side is a Delta, and I text her, she was like, "Oh my God, it's destined."
Yeah, yeah, it's going down. It's going down. We got an official.
Yes,
He's
I'm
more
like,
official than I am.
and then look, one of my close friends who's a Kappa, he sent me an angry text saying, "You really had that baby November 17th." I'm like, Corey, bro.
It's time. Y'all don't play no games.
So
I'm like, that was out of my control.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, get that.
Yes,
Yeah, you just pour that out. Yeah. All right, I guess we gotta go. We done came in. We gotta go. Our shuttle here.
It's all right. We'll catch y'all maybe next week if y'all not still in Jamaica.
Yeah. Hey, Pops, we'll call you when we land. And
okay.
We'll call you when you land. Hey, Chase, man. Good luck with the baby, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Josh, we'll talk to you soon, man. We'll be home sometime this month.
Okay, love you guys.
All right, love y'all too.
Okay, take care.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, Chase, man, we normally do it around the end of the show. When we wrap up, we give our final thoughts. I'm just glad you came on, man. Like this has been a good conversation. I'm glad to check up on you, see how you're doing, see how the baby's doing, the family. Give your final thoughts, man. Give you a little insight.
Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me, man. Honestly, I see you come from good stock. Your great grandfather, solid man. Come from solid family. You one of the best guys I know. It's my pleasure, man.
I appreciate that, Grandpa. You got any your final thoughts today?
Yeah, I'd like to mention that Ghana. I want to go back to our native land of Ghana, and I saw some brother was over there take a tour in Ghana, in Accra again, and it's up over the. I guess it had been 3 or 4 years since me and Freddie was over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like heaven, on earth. I said, I ain't never seen the beautiful places they had built there in Ghana. It was I can't explain it. It looked like a Garden of Eden. I said, now I got to get back over there. So my final thought is, I'm gonna see if I can't get back over there one more time. I got to see if that was for real or was that scripted. It was beautiful.
It was scripted.
I hear that.
Hey man, you got while you're still young, Grandpa. But
Yeah.
I would like to make one more. I'd like to go back over there and see if what I saw was for real, cause it was just extraordinary. I ain't seen nothing like that before.
Mm. Well, cool. Well, you know what? My final thought is I'm glad to, once again have Grandpa remember to come on the show and be the star of the show.
Nope.
Not big time me. He done got a new house now with his little piano in the background.
Bowling.
I'm really happy to have friends come on the show. I'm glad that your son
Got a new house too. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. I forgot about that, man.
Rich man, congratulations.
Don't tell people that, man. People ask for money, but tell the missus I said hi, and God bless, and I'm glad you and the family are healthy and safe. And enjoy your time off, man, because that's not really I like to say it's not really time off. It's just you adjusting to your new sleep schedule.
There you go. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world, man. Thank you guys for having me. I'm gonna come on a lot more often, trust me.
Yeah, come on, man. Well, let me know if you need anything or if you guys need help with something, because I know how that can be, just getting in the swing of things.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes. See you guys. Until next week. I'll see you before then, Grandpa. See you next week.
Okay.
Y'all take it easy.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.